Yes, something. And from the party's own internal ranks, some of their executives have had cause to complain. He does been talking about whether the party has done enough to address this. I mean, if you take some of the concerns, the former member of parliament for Mensah North, who was on the ground during one of the polling station elections and actually joined the protest, was on air with me and was clear that they had filed petitions all the way from the region to the national, and nothing much has happened. And so he was left very worried. Again, you listen to Kwache Jacko, who was on air, also complaining that the party should keep to the rules. I mean, you get a sense, listening to these stalwarts and others, that in places the party itself, either, there's been this advocacy in the party for so long, from the likes of the party's majority leader in parliament, that some people, either in parliament, should deserve some form of protection going into the elections. And there's a sense you get from the complaints that the party may be considering this and using other means other than democratic means to allow people to stay as members of parliament whatsoever. And that is possibly why we've seen the agitations happen. And the party has always said, press conferences have been held, that these issues have been resolved. But it hasn't done much to calm the nerves. But for me, if you are an NPP person, watch what happened in the lead up to the 2020 election. Similar concerns were raised, that people were being prevented from exercising their franchise in one way or the other. The system was gravitating and encouraging others to go, whilst others were being sidelined. Formina is a clear example of this. In the end, we saw the result. The result was this huge, unprecedented losses of seats they suffered in parliament. And you need to ask the question, something, has the NDC learned the lessons? Because it appears these same mistakes have been repeated, and the confusion that we saw in the lead up to the 2020 elections that delivered this horrendous outcome in parliament is exactly what we are seeing repeated in the polling station elections. So you have to ask, if this is what is happening at the polling station level, what will happen at the constituency, at the regional, national, parliamentary primary, and presidential primary? Your guess is as good as mine.